We promised the client that we'll do it within 21 days. And they've talked to sort of other partners who told them that the timeline is really short. And we've done it in like 10 days, 14 days.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 1, 2, 3 Teamwork. Today, I have with me Jianggan. Hi, Jianggan. Welcome to our show. Good to have you. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, Anna. Thanks for having me here. My name is Jianggan. I have been in sort of tech in Southeast Asia since 2013. First running a few companies for Rocket Internet, and then building my own outfit, which is called Momentum Works, which really does a number of things in the ecosystem. I've been venture building, so we were lucky to sell one of our ventures right before the pandemic, and we have been building community as well as some of the sort of insights around the ecosystem. So yeah, good to be here.
Awesome. So good to have you and such a wealth of experience, especially in the startup world. So very, very excited to hear your stories. Hey, first question we always ask, can you share with us a memorable or inspiring story of teamwork?
Wow. I mean, one thing about startups is that you have, of course, in any work setting, you have ups and downs, right?
Yes.
In startup settings, sometimes, ups and downs happen multiple times within a day. So I do have a few experiences where I think are particularly memorable, but they all follow the same sort of pattern, right? It's a project or piece of work that needs to be done, and our team is pretty young. I think the average age is about 25, 26.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, if it's not for me, maybe it's even lower, but. But typically what happens is that, okay, there's a piece of work which landed on our shoulders, and we said, okay, can we do it? And sometimes people said, I've never done it before. Can we really do it? So, but it's always like that doubt for like 20 minutes. Then people say, okay, let's do it. Let's try. Let's let's speak to all the experts we know. Let's do all the research and let's go ahead and do it. And I think this year, a number of instances where we actually complete the task or complete the project. You look back, you said, okay, we promised the client that we'll do it within 21 days. And they've talked to sort of other partners who told them that the timeline is really short. And we've done it in like 10 days, 14 days.
Wow.
And I said,
Wow.
wow, yeah. And, and I, I think that kind of spirit, right, where nobody's assuming, people just come here and just try to get a piece of work done and help each other, and sometimes well beyond what their individual scope is supposed to be. I think that's something which I'm really proud of for the team, and also this always leaves a good memory, and we always have a celebration after that.
That sounds amazing. That sounds like you guys are really, like, how do you say, like rising above yourselves. Wow. Impressive. Really
It's the
cool.
young people. I feel younger as well.
I love hanging out with young people.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, so I guess it's not always as positive or as easy as you make it sound like that. What do you find most challenging when working together with others in teams?
We certainly had lots of downs, and I think over the past 4 years I've been running this company, we had a few rounds where things became really really hard, and I think twice you had to basically reduce the team size. So these things were hard, but I would say that something that's even harder is how do you get team together to work without their baggage, right? I mean, people come with different backgrounds, with different sort of experiences, with different cultures, and sometimes that can reduce the I don't know the coherence of the team. So for instance, we do a lot of work in Indonesia, and I think the way we have been trying to maintain a low context communications within the team, it can be a struggle for somebody who has grown up in Indonesia and has always been in a cultural context where you are told that you need to respect people who are older than you.
Right.
And we also have experience of people who have been I don't know, doing certain types of work for 3, 4 years, and they're told that okay, the work has to be done in a certain way. So the challenge is that how do you bring all these people with different backgrounds, different cultures, different experience levels together and collaborate effectively? So I would say in that regard, we're still learning.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mm.
But that's continuous learning. I mean, that's probably one of the hardest things to get right. Absolutely.
And the challenge is that you can't. I mean, at least for me, it's very difficult for you to write down a formula saying that hey, rule now 1, 2, 3, 4, and follow these
Yeah.
rules, things will work. It's about
Yes.
dealing with people. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't framework your way out of that one.
Yeah, you have to calibrate each time a new member joins the team. So yeah.
Interesting point. Hey, what is your secret ingredient to successful teamwork? If it's not a formula or a framework, what is it?
I think again it comes down to the point that we have lots of young people,
Hmm.
and sometimes it's really about giving trust within the team that let people go and take responsibility, even sometimes that they've never done it before. So from someone who has a bit more experience, who's a little bit more senior, so try to find that balance where people who come in, people are young, people who want to prove themselves, people who want to excel, have the trust to make a few mistakes, to to
Mm,
to be in the front, to sometimes take all the credit, and while giving them the right level of support. I think that's something which I think will work wonders, and it has worked for us in a number of times. But of course, it's also a learning process because again, you are dealing with different people with different comfort levels and with different cultures.
right, right. So giving the young people the trust and the space to make these mistakes, and also to sort of like be at the forefront, even though and to see if they can pull off what they want to pull off. Yeah, that's
Mm.
an interesting one. That's an
And
interesting one. And then yes, so go ahead. Sorry.
and also let them know that you are behind them, right? I mean, if things become challenging, that you are there for them.
Right. How did they react to this typically?
Depending on the people, so I have had a few instances where we had to do a sort of presentation to the client, for example, at the end of the project. Sometimes you just tell the people saying that, hey, 15 minutes before the presentation, hey, you are going to handle this segment of the presentation. So of the whole hour, you're going to talk for 5 minutes. And the person usually says that, I don't think I'm ready because I've never done it before. And but the timeline you give is so short, so they can't think too much about it. And, and,
Right.
and typically do it well. And
Right.
and
Right.
at the end of the session, you tell them, hey, you've done it right.
Yes,
Mm.
you've had your first try and it went well. Yeah. So
Yeah, that gives confidence.
typically do you feel those young people feel more courageous or like ready, or less ready, like more doubtful in these situations?
I think typically they're more courageous than people who have experiences because people have experiences, you know where the risks are, you know how things can go wrong.
Yes.
And people who are young typically do not know where the boundaries are. So it can be binary, right? Whether I can do it or whether I can't do it. So usually they don't think too much.
Right. Right.
Mm,
And the rest of the team, not just you, but like the rest of the people
mm.
who were the young new ones 2 months ago, how did they respond to this?
Sorry, you're saying that the rest of the team?
Well, how does the rest of the team respond to it? Those people that were the young kids like 2 months ago, like or like half a year ago. I guess. I mean, there's always new people. There's always young
Yeah.
people, and so
Mm.
people are sort of like moving aside to make space for the new ones. How do others respond to this?
I think I think it comes down to whether you are constantly grow your portfolio,
Mm,
grow your team, and grow the responsibilities, and if whatever you do is growing, then naturally there will be space for them to take bigger responsibilities, to handle, I mean, more important relationships, and to be responsible for bigger projects. So
right.
I think that's how you make them sort of constantly growing and excited.
Awesome.
Mm.
Interesting. Hey, that's phenomenal. Thank you so much, Jianggan. This was a great chat.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.